parte de Puerto Rico.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen, where we show you how to make easy, authentic Puerto Rican recipes. Summer's here, let's start celebrating. Nothing says summer more than a piña colada, but you all know how to make piña colada, so let's actually make a piña colada cake. So delicious. Kind of my own creation, but it's really good. Even Jeff said it was good, and if any of you know Jeff, that's a huge compliment. So, what do you need? Looks like a lot of ingredients. We're gonna break it down in the main three components. So for the cake, you need 5 large eggs, which we separated into the egg whites and the egg yolks. 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cups of sugar. So 1/4 cup of sugar here and 3/4 cup of sugar here. 1 cup in total, but we're divided it in 2. 1/3 cup of buttermilk, half a teaspoon of coconut extract, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's your cake. Now we're gonna soak the cake in that delicious piña colada flavor. What you need for that is 1 cup of pineapple juice, half a cup of coconut milk. When you go to the store, select the one with the highest fat content, and 1/4 cup of sweetened condensed milk. When we make the cake, we top it with that piña colada flavor, then we're gonna put a whipped cream topping on that. Now what you need for that is 2 cups of heavy whipping cream and half a cup of powdered sugar. And then just for decoration, we're gonna add some maraschino cherries and pineapples. That's it, let's get cooking.
Start by turning on your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Place the egg whites in the mixing bowl of a stand mixer prepared with the whisk attachment. Beat the egg whites on high speed until they become really frothy. These should take about 1 minute. With the mixer still on, slowly pour in 1/4 cup of sugar, about a tablespoon at a time, and continue beating on high speed until the egg whites form high peaks. These should take a few minutes. At this point, the egg whites will resemble shaving cream. Once the egg whites are ready, move them to a large container so you can reuse the mixing bowl of the stand mixer later. With the egg whites set aside, we will now mix the dry ingredients. In a medium bowl, mix the flour, salt, and baking powder and stir to combine, then set aside. After the dry ingredients are all mixed, then we will prepare the egg yolk mixture. In the mixing bowl of the stand mixer, prepare with the paddle attachment, add the egg yolks with the remaining 3/4 cups of sugar, and mix on medium-high until the yolks are light yellow and creamy. This will take a couple of minutes. Use a spatula to clean the edges of the bowl as necessary. After the yolks are light in color and creamy, add the buttermilk, vanilla, and coconut extract and mix on medium for about 30 seconds until everything is incorporated. Use a spatula to clean the edges of the bowl as necessary. Once this mixture is ready, add the flour mixture to the egg yolks and mix on the lowest setting. Use a spatula to clean the edges and mix on low one more time. Be careful not to overmix, but make sure that there are no flour lumps in the mix. We will finalize the cake batter by adding the egg whites on top of the egg yolk mixture. Then fold it all gently with a spatula. You want to be careful not to overmix and deflate the egg whites, since this is what will make the cake airy and spongy. To fold the egg whites using a rubber spatula, turn the egg whites into the batter. The important part here is not to stir. Instead, use a flipping motion, literally folding the egg whites into the batter. Continue folding until all of the mixture is well incorporated. Once the cake batter is ready, prepare a 9x13 baking pan by spraying it with some non-stick baking spray. Then pour the cake mixture into the pan. Try to make sure that the mixture is poured evenly. You can also use a spatula to level the top. This will help ensure that the cake has a flat top, which will make it a lot easier to decorate. Place the baking tray in the oven and bake for 25 minutes. While you wait for the cake to bake, prepare the piña colada mixture by adding the pineapple juice, coconut milk, and sweetened condensed milk to one container. Whisk them to combine, making sure that they're all incorporated. Place this mixture in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it. After 25 minutes, test the cake by inserting a toothpick or cake tester in the middle of the cake. Once it comes out clean, then the cake is ready. Take the cake out of the oven and let it cool for about 1 hour. Once cool, poke the cake with a fork all over. Don't be shy and poke it as much as you like. Then evenly pour the Piña Colada mixture over the cake. Cover the cake and let it sit in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour, but up to 6 hours. For the frosting, start by adding the whipping cream and powdered sugar in the bowl of a stand mixer with a whisk attachment, and mix on high until it's thick and fluffy. This will take a few minutes. You are now ready to frost your cake. I am using a piping bag with a piping tip to frost my cake, but you can just evenly spread the frosting and flatten it with a spatula. If you want to follow a design similar to mine, use a 1M piping tip and evenly divide the tray in 6 or 7 parts lengthwise. Then pipe small zigzags from top to bottom, repeating for each part. I am decorating my cake with cherries and pineapple, which is what you would usually get on top of your drink, but this is completely optional. Finally, I am sprinkling some toasted coconut on top for a little extra crunch, but this is also completely optional.
Well, let's try the perfect summer treat, Piña Colada cake. So good. Really tastes like Piña Colada. It's cool, straight out of the fridge, which is perfect for the summer. You know, that pineapple, coconut flavor combination with the cherry on top, just amazing. And the whipped cream topping is not overly sweet. For me, it's that perfect pairing. And the other thing is I don't like my cake to be overly wet. So if you do like yours to have more moisture, just add time and a half of the coconut milk pineapple juice mixture. And then, just kind of add it on top. It will, make the cake wetter. Totally your personal preference. This is such a great, delicious treat. You make it like this, you can bring it to a friend's house or, just have it in the fridge, and every time you open the fridge, you cut a little piece for yourself. It's really, really good. I highly recommend you guys try it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that. And we'll see you again next week for another episode of Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen.